I want to do a video just to warn you not to drink the Kool-Aid, so to speak. A while back, I told you that Trump was going to win. I don't know how long ago I've been saying that, at least over a year, that he was going to come back into office because the Antichrist system is going to rise under him, and Christian nationalism and Christian Zionism are all part of that. So I knew that. I told you ahead of time that it was going to happen, that he was going to mobilize that. But one of the other things that I told you, that these important people of the world, these kings of the earth who fornicate with the Antichrist of counterfeit Christianity, that they're so incensed by wokeism, they're so incensed by transgenderism and LGBTQ plus whatever, the weaponization of the legal system, the maniacal, sort of crazy arguments that so-called woke people presented, like, you want me to unalive myself. You don't accept me, therefore you want me to die. And, of course, what they were saying is, you don't accept my ideology, you don't accept my gospel, you don't accept my delusion, and therefore you want me to unalive myself. Yeah, it was all crazy. Of course it was crazy. I'm not denying that. So how about when you don't agree with Zionism? When you don't agree with that ideology, now not only are you calling for the annihilation of my people, but you also are an anti-Semite, right? Same tactics, same exact tactics. You're a bigot, which I don't know. I mean, that was so weird, right? It was so weird to have someone say that you were a bigot or that you were racist because you didn't agree with, someone's delusional illness, spiritual illness, that they're a cat or a goat or a zebra or another gender. Well, listen, for me, when I listen to the arguments on the other side regarding Zionism, and I hear, we made up in 1948 that this particular place in the Middle East is going to be designated as Israel. Never mind the fact that, that Israel refers to God's people, that there was an Israel before there was even a land. Never mind the fact that all of these things that they're claiming are happening now are supposed to happen when the Messiah comes back. Never mind that Jerusalem is a bride beautifully dressed for her husband coming out of the sky. So now they make up a delusion and then expect God to fulfill it, and counterfeit Christians then worship this image that they helped to create in the false prophet of the United States. To me, that's more delusional than anything. Because not only are you stating your truth, but you expect God to go along with that. Well, what I told you a year or two ago is that all of that crazy stuff that you were seeing woke people doing, or the woke agenda fulfilling, are the very things that you're going to see Christian Zionism, Christian nationalism, the Antichrist. You're going to see them do those same things, even though they criticized it. And when they do it, they're not even going to have the sense to be able to see that they're doing the very same thing. So, this lunatic bishop, Episcopal bishop, got up and lectured Trump to have mercy for immigrants, to have mercy for LGBT, that these people are afraid for their lives. She talked about children who are trans, children who are... When did that start happening? It became a fad. This lunatic is convincing children that they're trans. Okay, so she's a nut. And yet, the issue for those on the right is that they don't like it when someone gets up to the pulpit and lectures you about politics from the pulpit. Isn't that what they've been doing in Christian nationalism? I mean, we're getting it on both sides. Like, we get it from the politicians lecturing us about religion, and from the so-called Christian people at the pulpit lecturing us about politics. What are they even talking about? Don't drink the Kool-Aid, guys. God's kingdom does not consist of a political group. Don't get involved in that group think, because if you get involved in it, you need to understand that that is the Antichrist. God's kingdom is not a political group. And the biggest hypocrites of them all are those who are turning God's kingdom into a political group in his name. Supposedly, in his name. They are profaning his name. They do the very same things that pagans did, though pagans don't know any better. These people claim to see, and they are going to do some serious, serious damage. If you can't see it already, you can't see how quickly this fire is moving, you will. Please discern this message with God.